Hi and welcome to Drummer's Review. I'm Nolly and in today's video we're going to be looking at UFIP's Natural Series cymbals. Italian brand UFIP use a patented centrifugal spinning process while casting their cymbals, which they say reduces surface tensions and eliminates impurities in the bronze. Their Natural Series cymbals are handmade from B20 bronze and feature heavy hammering and fairly light weights, resulting in controlled, dark cymbals with deep pitches. The set that we have here today comprises of 20 and 18-inch crashers, a 22-inch light ride, 15-inch light hi-hats, and a 10-inch dry splash taken from their Effects Collection series. The suggested retail pricing lists the 20 and 18-inch crashers at £267 and £236 respectively, while the ride comes in at £289, the hi-hats come in at £342, and the splash costs £110. But before we go any further, let's hear some more of these cymbals in action. Looking at these cymbals for the first time, the hammering pattern is one of the first things you notice. The visual effect is almost snakeskin-like, with the hammer marks being a bit more rectangular in shape and more contrasting in colour than on most cymbals that we've seen. The finish has quite a matte, yet not quite raw look to it. I think they look great, but I can't help feeling slightly more rustic colour for the logos would be more coherent with the organic aesthetic. At first strike, we immediately felt that UFIP's description of these cymbals is spot on. They're really warm and controlled with an extremely smooth top end. Unlike some other heavy hammered cymbals we've heard, these ones don't seem to get trashy even under hard hitting, and they're not too dark or crunchy in the way that might come across as lo-fi. Starting with the hats, they're quite quiet and deep in pitch, but without an overbearing amount of note coming through in the mids. Despite being 15 inches, them being so thin means they're incredibly articulate and responsive to busy sticking patterns, and played closed or with the pedal they have a beautifully organic definition. At the same time, the open sound doesn't seem to be sacrificed to achieve this. They sound smooth and husky, with enough carry to fill the space between the hits. The ride stands out as an exceptionally nice cymbal to our ears. The stick articulation is excellent, and the decay fades away gently rather than dying abruptly. And on top of all of that, the depth of tone sits it really nicely into the mix without it disappearing into the back. Surprisingly, for such a light ride like this, the bell is bold, responsive, and had a wide sweet spot, making the ride a whole lot more versatile as a result. The 18-inch crash seemed to hold up to louder playing a little bit better than the 20 without choking, but both crashes were really quick to open up and felt soft under the stick. We describe them as musical rather than explosive, and we feel like they'd be particularly suited to dynamic players who enjoy pulling lots of different tones from their crashes, using varied techniques. For example, the 20-inch made a really serviceable alternate jazzy ride in our opinion. Finally, the splash had a smooth attack and a gentle serpentine hiss. In isolation, its lack of harshness makes it feel quiet, yet in context with the rest of the set, it didn't seem to have trouble keeping up in volume. If you're wondering why it's not part of the natural series like the rest of the cymbals we have here, UFIP group all their chinas and splashes into their effects collection, but this dry splash shares the same construction style as the natural range. In case you can't tell, we really enjoyed these cymbals. It feels like UFIP have done a stellar job of creating the exact sound they were aiming for. They're stylized in tone, but not in a gimmicky way, and we can see these being genuinely usable for jazz, acoustic music, blues, and generally rootsy styles of music. Cost-wise, these are in the professional category, but if you compare against handmade B20 offerings from other major manufacturers, these are really competitively priced, especially the hats and ride. This could make them an attractive option for those who want a second cymbal setup with a more specialized sound, but we'd say that they're well worth looking into for any drummers after great B20 cymbals, regardless of brand affinity and price point. Thanks for watching. We really hope you enjoyed this video. To stay in the loop when new videos come out, click on the subscribe and bell icon below, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Drummers Review.